Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandi, the Millennial Manager, and today is Wednesday inside of Patreon. And I want to say thank you to Patreon for still sticking to support the podcast while I was on vacation. I really wholeheartedly appreciate that. Thank you so much. And for everybody else, it's Friday, okay? And I done been on vacation for 2 weeks. And I just went back to work on, not Monday, but Tuesday, April 1st. And I was like, can we just April Fool this damn thing? Because going to work after a vacation, oh my goodness, it was such a peaceful time. If you have vacation coming up, girl and sir, you better enjoy it. Okay. Now, I will say, because we took an extended vacation this year, instead of doing just the 7, or I think we did 5 days last year. So we did 5 days last year, 7 in Disney this year. And then we wrapped our trip up in Atlanta. And it was a total of about 10 days. And when I tell you, it was just what the doctor ordered. Okay. That was such a nice time, but it was a little bit of a challenge getting my ass out that bed yesterday. It was such a challenge, but once I got to work, I was like, oh, I can do this shit. You know, it's just muscle memory. It's just coming back to me. And the good thing is that I do have 3 other administrators. So things were split between myself and my team. And I didn't feel overwhelmed. I didn't feel like I was coming back to like a bunch of bullshit. It was just a couple things that needed to be taken care of as far as my doctors are concerned. And child, it was lovely. It was lovely. I may post the pictures, like the vlog and stuff, into Patreon as some content, because it was like such an extended trip and it was great. I don't know what people why people choose to fly. I know the convenience, but when I tell you, us stopping and resting and shopping along the way and visiting this place, stopping here, it was such a good opportunity for us to create memories, and the kids really had a great time. It was just nice. It was just beautiful. And the fact that we had the freedom to stop in different places coming back, Atlanta was not even planned. That was just last minute, and driving allowed us to do that. Before I get into the podcast, I would like to say fuck Enterprise. Okay? Because we attempted to rent a car from them, and they did this to us last year, and we just got lucky that somebody had a minivan and brought it back. And I do have a minivan, but my car is much older, and we don't drive her past Pittsburgh. I think we went to Pittsburgh last year. And they reneged on our rental. We called up there. We kept calling, and somebody's going to take care of you. Somebody's going to do this. And I ain't heard from somebody yet. And it is April 2nd. We done been on the trip and back. So it's fuck Enterprise all day long, because I don't appreciate that bullshit that they tried to pull. Now, okay, let's get into this episode of the podcast. We are going to be doing emails. This episode, I think, is going to be an easy way for me to get back into the swing of things. And plus, it helps us get down or get through some of these emails. Because, baby, when I tell you my phone was going off during that break, but I was like, I told myself I was not going to record a podcast episode. I told myself that I was not. But when I tell you I wanted to pick up that mic, because I did take an extra mic just in case that I had to change of heart. But we were doing stuff and spending time with my in-laws, and it was just so nice. So I just did not do that at all. But let's get to our first email of the episode. This one says, "Hey, Brandi, I had to reach out because I got a textbook case of corporate chaos, and your content says living rent-free in my head every time this woman moves shady. I work in product development, and there's a coworker, let's call her Stephanie the Spreadsheet Saver." Baby, we still in that. I love that name, Betty. who has made it her mission to subtly undermine my authority at every turn. She performs helplessness on the surface, but it's all smoke and mirrors. She questions confirmed information, delays progress with unnecessary file revisions, and constantly tries to insert herself into roles that aren't hers, including mine. I lead projects, get sign-offs, and manage communication. Yet she circles back with new files, contradictory edits, and even submits things that I've already sent after the final revision. She is out here doing the absolute most while I am actually trying to do my damn job. Okay? It's giving sabotage wrapped in spreadsheet formatting. At this point, I've documented everything. Leadership sees the thread, but she's still out here adding drama to every deadline. How do you deal with someone who wants your job more than they want to do their own? Thanks for being a voice of reason in the madness. You have helped me stay grounded more times than you know. Micromanage the wrong one. I don't chase credit. I create outcomes. Betty. Now, you ate with that last line, okay? Now, let's talk about Stephanie, the spreadsheet savior, okay? I love that name, first of all. Let's talk about this. Now, weaponized incompetence is a thing inside of the workplace, but there is such a thing that's the complete opposite, but they're along the same lines. Weaponized helpfulness. And it is just as exhausting and irritating and annoying and all of those things as weaponized incompetence. And it can be just as detrimental as well, because you have someone who is saying they want to help you, but everything that they're doing is causing confusion. So it's not really a help at all. Okay. You're trying to build, and she's coming in to build a narrative where she feels like she's the hero, right? Where she wants to be the one that is saving the day. Now, what you have to do is continue your strategic documentation. The paper trail of petty that you got going on, where you are documenting all of those things, that is absolutely necessary in this. But you need to be specific of not what your weapon is, like how she's weaponizing her helpfulness, but you need to be specific in your writing. Okay, that's your weapon. So she's using weaponized helpfulness. You need to be specific in what you use. And Stephanie, when you write, you can say Stephanie made contradictory edits on a report or on a document that was already approved by this person or signed off on this person on this date. And this is the date that the edits were introduced, even though it had already been approved. Like when you document things like that, or when you document, that's how you need to word it. Okay, it needs to state that Stephanie came in after this was already completed and it was signed off by who needs to approve the information, and she made edits which created delays. You need to show that what she's doing is not helpful at all, that is actually causing delays, that is actually bringing in additional information that's not even correct. Let's just be real. The things that she's bringing to the table, they're not right. Hence why they are not in the final report, because the person who is signing off on this report would have said, absolutely, this is wrong. Let's go back and edit this. But that did not happen. And let's talk about impact, okay? Because some people who are very helpful in the workplace don't realize that the impact that you are making is completely opposite to your intention. So let's just say, for devil's advocate, okay, which I hate that, but let's just say that she really truly is trying to help. The impact is totally different from the intention, right? Your intention is to be helpful. Your intention is to improve the reports, but that's not what's actually happening. What's happening is that you are causing confusion. You are causing disruption to the process of getting these reports approved. Once they're approved, you're introducing additional information, which is causing so many deadlines to not be met. So it's not really a help, right? So that's another thing that you need to document. that if it is that situation, right, you don't want to just go in accusing people of trying to come after you in a way. You have to make it seem like that is not even a concern of mine. I think that she is trying to be helpful. However, I do feel like the impact is not the same as the intention, because it's actually causing a disruption. It's a totally opposite effect. Escalate strategically. Don't jump to file the first thing. And this is actually in a video that I did on Instagram last night, where I happened to be talking about Cory Booker and documentation. He had a binder of all of these things. It wasn't just a one-off situation, because maybe that's a misunderstanding. Maybe that's a miscommunication. But if it happens 3 times, if it happens 4 times, if it happens 5 times, and you've been keeping a detailed log, that is not just an occurrence. Okay? This is a behavior. This is a pattern. And it shows that when you put that information in there. So you want to make sure that you have all of that laid out in your documentation. Now, the next thing that I definitely feel like you need to be more mindful of is your authority in this situation.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The next phase of this is going to be asserting authority over the situation, right? You are the person who is to be submitting the reports for final approval, and you need to make it very clear. Stephanie, I want to call her Stephanie, the spreadsheet saver. I appreciate your input, but the final revision or the final version has already been approved. Please refrain from making any further edits. And you can send that via email. Okay, you can send it via email. You can send it via text, however y'all communicate. If it's through Teams, something that can be traced back and documented that she was asked to stop this behavior. When she's trying to take over, you can let her know gently, like, hey, this falls within my scope of responsibility, and I'll keep you informed on the progress, period. Now I have asserted my authority, been very clear, put boundaries in place, okay? Because that is the real issue. This Stephanie girl, she don't have no boundaries, Betty. That's your real problem. She does not understand that you cannot overstep people in the workplace. I mean, you can, but it's probably not going to work out professionally for you. And as you mature in your career, there are compartments to a corporation, and there are people who have specific jobs that it needs to stay with that specific person, because if you were skilled to do that, you would have been doing it. Okay? Create the boundaries and be authoritative when you set them, and be so serious. Look her dead in the eye. Okay? If it's something that is a one-on-one conversation, if it's via email, make sure that you send it via email and be very, very clear. Okay? The other part of this is that I definitely want you to try to overcome the optics of what she's doing. So let's go back to our original thought, is that she really is trying to, usurp your position or whatever. Like, she's just trying to come after you. The way to combat that in reality is to be the complete opposite of whatever she is trying to do. So if she's trying to make you seem like someone who does not know how to do their job, someone who is making mistakes or whatever, you be the complete opposite of that in a public forum and privately, so that all your communication is succinct. Everything is on the same page. You're not doing anything different. There's no contradiction. When people see you interact with others, if she tried to describe you in a disparaging way, you act the complete opposite. Even when she does things that she knows is going to get under your skin. You don't let that penetrate. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. I know that was very long-winded, but I picked out this email because it is one that I have received quite a bit about employees who try to overstep management or even other coworkers, and you're trying to do somebody else's job that is not yours. And you have to be very insane to want to do two people's job for one salary. That is, you are clearly not well, you know? So Betty, I appreciate your email and I hope everything works out for you. All right, our next email is, hey, quick question for you. When your particular job that you only do is posted on Indeed, how should you handle it? You need to find another job, baby. You need to get to looking. Okay, the petty in me wants to say apply to the job, but don't do that. You know your job is posted. You just need to find something else in the meantime, because they are getting ready to terminate you, bring in somebody else, maybe for lower pay. Maybe it's a demotion. It could be a promotion, but you don't really know. So until they bring it to your attention, you need to stay ready. So if I were you, I would try to start applying, interviewing, and if they come to you with something else and it's a good promotion and you decide not to leave, then absolutely. But normally when they're looking to promote within, people are aware that that is going to happen. If you just so happen to see your job online, then darling, you need to look for a new job. All right. And our last question of the episode, it says, hi, Brandi. Hello. How are you? I hope all is well and that you are enjoying your time off. When you return, can you please help me with the following question below? How does FMLA work as far as pay when your company provides unlimited PTO? I'm considering taking a much needed leave from my job for my mental health. I've been here over 3 years and the job is a lot. Toxic culture, overworked employees, and it's taking a mental and emotional toll on me, and I need more than a few days off. It's needed before I break down. Please let me know. Thank you, Betty. Betty, let's talk about it, okay? Unlimited PTO is not necessarily what your company is going to offer you once you turn in your FMLA paperwork. And this is based off of your company's policy. So this is another thing. FMLA, or the Family Medical Leave Act, right? It's the act. And then you take FML, which is Family Medical Leave, but we use those terms interchangeably. And with FMLA, you have to, number one, be with the company for at least 12 consecutive months, work 1,250 hours in the past 12 months, and the company has to have at least 50 employees within 75 miles. Mental health does qualify, okay, as a qualifying reason or a serious health condition which can qualify you to be out of work for an extended amount of time. It does have to be approved by a provider. Now, when your unlimited PTO comes in, even if your company has unlimited PTO, they can still limit how much time you're allowed to use of that unlimited PTO. And I know it is very, very tricky, okay? Unlimited PTO is not a real thing that everyone has access to. It is a very unique concept when you have unlimited PTO, okay? You have a certain amount of time generally at jobs. When you have unlimited PTO, it kind of makes the ground uneven if you don't understand exactly how that qualifies. So if I were you, I would look at your company's policy or handbook and see what it says about FMLA and the time that is allotted. Unlimited PTO does have its limitations, but it is set by the company. So I don't know necessarily what your company's PTO policies are, like what they're saying about PTO or unlimited PTO and how it can be applied. So that's where you're going to have a conversation with HR, which also is going to let them know that you are intending to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you're intending to be on break. So either you need to obtain a copy of your policy handbook, your company handbook, or you need to sit down and have a conversation with HR. And that's really how you're going to know, to be honest. I don't want to tell you that your company is going to cover all of your PTO. You have unlimited PTO and you know, they're going to pay for that, because that could be the case. But there is a potential or a chance that they're not going to, that they have stipulations on PTO, how that is used in addition to your FMLA. Like when those things are combined or they're working together, they may have some type of stipulation that says you can only use this amount. So in order for you to know that, you're going to have to talk to HR and read that handbook. Okay? Those are the two things that you're going to have to do, because I also don't know where you live. That's another part of this, honey. I don't know where you live, so that means I don't know what state and what laws like to look up for that state regarding FMLA and unlimited PTO, if there are any. So a good way to know is to base the information off of the company policy, handbook, and your HR. Okay? I hope that was helpful. I hate when some of these questions come up and I feel like I'm rambling, but it's so much information regarding PTO and it can be, or FMLA, and it can be very tricky when unlimited PTO is in, because if they don't have a standard for that, or like something that people can reference, it makes it hard to understand. And I can't help but feel like that's by design, because if you don't understand it, maybe you'll stay away from it, which stops people from questioning, which lowers the chances that people are going to utilize the source of unlimited PTO. Like, that's just my opinion, but you know, what do I know? But in all your conversations that you have with HR, please make sure you document, okay? Document everything that they tell you. How can it be applied? Make sure everything that they give you or communicate with you is in writing of some sort. So it either needs to be on a form or it needs to be via email of the conversation recap, something. You need to have something in writing, and just protect yourself, okay? Because they are going to protect themselves. You need to make sure you are doing your very best to be an advocate for yourself, especially with the environment that you are describing. They're not doing very much to protect the employees anyway. So you need to make sure you are doing your damnedest, okay, to stay documented up, informed, and aware of what is happening inside of the workplace and with your FMLA and unlimited PTO. All right, y'all. Now that's going to be it for today's podcast back. Thank you so much for giving me some time to breathe and do vacation content. And now we're getting back into the swing of things. I really appreciate the unlimited support that you all have given me, and the grace that you all have given me inside of Patreon. So I hope that you all enjoyed this episode, and y'all have a good ass day. I will see y'all on the internet. Bye.